All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Happy to see such a great turnout as we get a chance to chat with the team behind a very unique project in AllStars Digital, who have innovated an impressive sports trading exchange, which means linking the performance of sports athletes to a real-time price market alongside a lot more within their ecosystem. Really cool stuff and excited to dive in. But first, I got to announce the awesome giveaway in store for today's listeners, with $300 going out to 3 lucky random people and a golden ticket reserved for the best question, which you can cash in for any whitelist opportunity posted. And if you can't ask your questions on the voice chat, feel free to send them in via direct message. I'll do my best to ask them for you. AllStars Digital in the building. Let me get you guys unmuted. It looks like Yusuf is going to be joining us along with Akash and Dave. Get everybody unmuted. Dave, I got you there as well. Gosh, I see you here as well. I think I got everybody unmuted. Welcome, guys. Make sure you visit the website. You have to check out these materials that they put together for us. AllStarsDigital.io. Apologies for that. You can check out the white paper. There's a pitch deck. There's all sorts of great materials that you can look over as we go through today's AMA. But we're going to get the team on. Yusuf, I'm assuming we're going to wait for the guys and then probably get started after, right?
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Hey, guys. I'm unlocked now. Thank you.
Telegram, man. Telegram makes it so difficult sometimes. I'm glad to see that everybody's working. It looks like I see Mike's moving. That's awesome. One more time, guys, AllStarsDigital.io. Tag along with us. Fully Docs team behind this really cool idea. Sports fan myself, I was super impressed, guys, with the value I see up front in the idea, in the team, and the whole concept. Great timing for everybody tuning in, still in the fundraising stages. And I guess speaking about that team, guys, give us an introduction. Who's behind this project?
Thanks, guys, for having us. It's a real pleasure. So I'm Yusuf Mechahouri. I'm the CEO of AllStars Digital. My background has been mainly financial services for the past 15 years. I was the head of equity derivatives trading at Tier 1 banks in Paris and in London. So I've done equity trading for pretty much my whole life. Then started to get tired of traditional finance, started to look into crypto in 2018. And by 2020, I decided to quit my job, started my own crypto hedge fund for the past year. Did well. That's how actually I met Dev, who's the other founder of this product. And Dev, who's actually the brain and the reason why we are all here today, Dev Dutta, is he said, listen, Yusuf, I have this amazing product, which is a combination of traditional finance, crypto, and sport. So he pitched me the idea for like 30 seconds and I was all in straight away. And yeah, so the team has been working for the past 2 years. I joined last year, more than a year actually, almost like 15 months now. And we have this amazing product, which is AllStars Digital, that we're going to take you through. That's pretty much about me. Akash, if you want to share a few words about yourself, about Mark and Dev, who are the two other founders, that would be great.
Sure, yeah. Okay, so go back to me then. So I've spent more than 20 years in the financial services, mostly in like the traditional asset classes, foreign exchange, indices, commodities, etc. I worked for a couple of large or well-branded derivative houses and brokerages. I was CTO of a company called FXCM, where I learned a lot about like all sorts of different asset classes, built a multi-asset trading platform, which had retail reach. So we kind of learned very much about like the product dynamics of actually making things simple, quite for many years ago. And then I went on to do some other kind of CTO technology and product-led roles, mostly in financial services. And then I ended up in a company called Football Index, which was an amazing concept. It was one of the first it was a pioneering brand, allowing users to buy and sell soccer stars on a what looked like a stock market, and it just got so much attraction, and it was growing at an enormous rate over the 4 or 5 years that it's been in existence. And I joined in the last couple of years to try and take that product to the next level, to try and big scale and bring it to other regions as well. Unfortunately, the pandemic took over at one point and put lots of pressure on that business. So in the end, it didn't kind of work out. But I moved on. And I connected again with Mark Aspinall, who's the other founder here, who I worked with sort of many years ago in another company. And he told me about what's going on at AllStars. And I said, look, this is the perfect place for us all to be, because we all understand product really well, especially around financial services products and asset classes. And then we also all love sport, and we all have a real genuine interest in crypto as well and Web3. And so it was just a perfect environment to come and express ourselves and actually do the things that we've probably always dreamt of being able to play with and do. And so here it is, after 2 years of very hard graft, and we can talk about that in a minute. We've got a fluid pricing index that takes the performance of more than 4,000 athletes and prices them all in real time. And then we put that in a marketplace where you can buy and sell into those players. And we've got all sorts of derivative outcomes on that as well. But literally, we're on the cusp of launching at the first ever sports exchange. We can trade all of these players just the same way as you'd be trading digital currencies or crypto. And so it's the perfect combination for this kind of audience who'd understand exactly how the current markets work. And what we're doing is just introducing a new asset class within that, something that's actually well more relatable. So if you follow sport in any way, and I know 3.5 billion football fans around the world obviously follow football, and 1.5 billion cricket fans do. We know that there's got a mass appeal here to either not only giving something for the current crypto communities to kind of start to relate to, but actually to draw in a larger crowd from those that haven't really made the journey to here yet. So we've got lots of ideas and plans around that, and we're looking forward to talking about it. But that's what we come here with. We come here with huge amounts of enthusiasm around our product, and we just really want to just let you know all about it, because we're in the final throes of actually just making this publicly available. I think I might be able to share.
I gotta say, guys, while we're getting this loaded up, I mean, super impressed based on what I saw. I'm a big sports fan myself. I'll be honest, and I enjoy. There's elements that I like, and I think this kind of vaguely relates to daily fantasy football in a way. It kind of has a little bit of that appeal if I understand it right based on what I was looking at. But I mean, this seems super cool. It seems first to market. I guess. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Let's dive in with how the data is collected, how the whole process works. Maybe that might be the best place to start in. Or if you want to do a presentation or share anything, please feel free.
Yeah, guys, look, we've got a video for our product, and it kind of explains the whole thing, and actually is a really good way of getting going. But you know what? I'm hopeful that you can hear it, but if you can't, I'll just continue talking over it, right? And so just let me know. Just give me some feedback.
What makes an athlete truly exceptional? Power, skill, accuracy, vision. Today, we have insight on performance like never before. We can map out how our favourite sports stars are expected to play and measure how well they're doing over a game, a season, and even their entire career. Because sport today is driven by data. With AllStars Digital, you can capture that data, then trade your players, and earn from their real-life performances. Watch your favourite tournaments, the biggest sports events around the world, and take up a position. All using the AllStars Coin, a new digital currency that's enabling a sports staking revolution. Why limit yourself to binary choices, wins and losses, when we have all this insight? After all, sport is in the details, the key moments. Let's play the game like it's really played. With a single index price that goes up and down based on real-life performances recorded in thousands of match data points. When your players do well, so do you. Close your position when it suits you. And with all transactions visible on the blockchain, it's secure, quick, and simple. AllStars Digital gives this generation a new stake in the game. It's time to trade your passion. Join us today at allstarsdigital.io or follow us on social.
That's kind of like the video that we've got up on YouTube, so if you've got time, go and have a look at it, right? We're just quickly going to tell you where we are. We like, just as I said, we've been grafting at this for a long time, but we're in the final throes now. So in terms of community, we've been building that pretty rapidly. You can imagine if you bring these topics together, including sport, you can actually really engage with the community very quickly. And so we've got up to about 90,000 now, and we're just about to launch a campaign for gain more awareness, which is around the FIFA World Cup, which is happening in about 5.5 weeks' time. And our competition for that was genuinely going to attract a lot of interest coming to us, especially now that we have a product going live as well. And so the next six weeks seems super interesting for us, and we're on our launch plan. And that's what we came to talk to you all about. We've got, along the way, we've got a TGE event at the end of October, and we've got our platform launch, which happens in mid-November. So we have got a really well-defined plan for how to get there, and it's a day-by-day, week-by-week plan. And we've got lots of products to deliver as well along the way. And we're, in the next few slides, we get a chance to tell you about those, especially about the roadmap that we've got. So currently, we're in October. We've just announced our blockchain partnership with Aurora, and that went out at the beginning of this month. And we're really, really excited about that because there's the super possibilities that come from that, including our own chain, which we will develop, and we'll make that part of our ecosystem in the new year. So there's a lot more to be told about that, but the journey started now. We're going to talk about the exchange that we're going on to list our coin. We're really excited about the partnerships we're building there, but there'll be an announcement once we're past all the right checks and controls. So that will be coming out soon. Our CertiK audit is nearly complete. We'll probably do a double audit on that. And so we just want to be super sure that the quality of our coin is of the level of security that we would expect for a project of this scale. And our coin has got a name now. It's ASX. It's available in CoinGecko. That's the first time we've told anyone about it in terms of the new name. And that will obviously be available on the TGE at the end of the month. November, we're launching a special series NFT, which is a little bit about our capability, a lot about our products. And it's actually a special event because we're launching, and we want that to be part of the product plan as well going forward. So, going to reveal a bit more about that. Our exchange, which is what it's all about, will be launching mid-November, prior to the FIFA World Cup kicking off its first ball, and the FIFA World Cup begins on the 20th. So we're in a big rush, right? So we've got our date set out. So there's a lot of work going on in the background. And then in 2023, we wish to extend our sports capability to basketball and esports. That's just super exciting for us, and we can definitely, we know we've got the capability internally to dissect that data and make an interesting product from it. And then we've got another play, which is a fantasy platform, which is very popular. And then we'll be bringing that to the blockchain as well. And then we've got lots of plans around DAOs. So I don't want that to be too vague in 2023, but I really just want to focus today about telling you about our plans about October and November, because they're right upon us. I'm going to break there because I'm sure you've got other questions, and give Yusuf a chance to tell you a bit more about other things.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have made it pretty easy to digest, I'll be honest. And I was excited because I had a chance to look through it. And so obviously the roadmap and the timing, how you guys are rolling things out with the FIFA World Cup. And then obviously I'm a basketball fan, so I like seeing basketball on their esports as well. You're going to appeal to a wide audience, and I like that. I think it's a good way to roll it out. In terms of, I guess, questions about anything up to this point, I think it's all going to come out here pretty soon. So I'm going to let you keep flowing, man, and we'll recap at the end or in the middle.
All right. Okay. If you don't mind. Yusuf, do you want to jump in for anything to say?
Sure. So maybe just to answer the general question about how do we do this, right? Because of our background, we've been working in the financial industry for many years, and actually Dev and myself have been building this type of indices, but on equity, on commodities, on fixed income, and these kind of things. So we just brought the same idea into the alternative assets world. And how do we do it? Very simple, 2 steps. The first step is we collect data from independent data providers. So we work with the likes of Opta and Sports Trader, which are 2 well-established companies, a Swiss one and a US one, who works with all the betting companies out there. And these guys, basically, they provide live data from the pitch real time, like something happened, not even 1 second later, we have the information as well. So they do that through 2 things. Either they have people sitting on every stadium, or they do it through AI. You know, they have their TV feed, then they have like computers looking at what happens, and they're able to gather the information. So we collect the information and then we process it. And the way we process it is that we have rule-based algorithm. So for example, you score a goal, that's 2.5 points. You make an assist, that's 1.5. You get yellow carded, that's -3 points, and so on. So every single thing that you can think of on the pitch is being processed. And we have done it in a very smart way, in the sense that if, let's say, Liverpool is playing on a Saturday against Burnley and Mo Salah scores, that's good. He's going to score some points. But actually, if he plays the final of the Champions League and he scores, it's even better. So we have some kind of benchmarking between the events, also between players. So for example, Mo Salah is a direct competitor of Haaland. So we compare what Haaland does on Saturday to what Mo Salah does on Sunday. So we try to bring a lot of dynamic, not just very linear things as you can see on fantasy games, right? Like we try to make something actually very relatable, the same way as football coaches, you know, they will look at things and we process that, and then we process it into our index, and the index becomes tradable. So as soon as Benzema scores a goal, you're going to see his index going up 5%. He misses a penalty, as he did over the weekend, his price will drop 4%. And we bring that into our exchange, and we allow people trade on that. So if you think Benzema is going to have a nice game or a good game, you just need to buy him. And the beauty about this product compared to betting is betting, you know, is fixed odds and binary outcome. So if you bet on Benzema to score a goal, but he scores 2 goals, even though you're kind of right, that he played well, you lose all your stake. While with us on our platform, you don't need to call a specific event. You just need to call that Benzema is going to have a good game, right? He can make assists, interceptions, goals, shots on targets, whatever, and his price will rise. And even if you don't call it right, Benzema has a very poor game and you bought it, then actually price will come off, but you're not going to lose all your stake. So you might lose 10%. And the next game, you can decide either to keep your position open and, you know, keep until the next game, or you can close it and open it again. So it's really a proper investment as you will do it when you buy Tesla stock, Facebook, Eurodollar, Bitcoin, or Ethereum.
So I just want to understand this a little bit more, because this is super, super interesting to me. Let's say there's a player that just got off of injury, right? I'm assuming the price for this injured player or recently recovered player is going to be a little bit lower. Am I right?
Well, actually, if you think about it, that's a good question, because it comes very often. So I'm glad you raised it. When a player is injured, it's not his fault, right? Like he got injured, he got substituted. So actually what's going to happen, because the player is not playing anymore, we don't collect data for that, right? He's off, he's now being substituted. So actually his price will stop moving. Same thing if a player moves to another club, for example, moves to the US in the MLS that we don't cover, because we cover only German, French, Spanish, Italian, and English leagues. So the 5 major leagues in Europe. So if a player goes out of this scope, his price will get frozen until the day he's back, transferred back. For example, Ibrahimovic moved from Paris Saint-Germain to LA Galaxy, so his price got frozen and then comes back to AC Milan. People can trade him again. So we try to be as fair as possible. I think 2 years ago, Van Dijk, the famous Liverpool defender, was off for the whole season because he was injured. Well, actually, for the whole season, his price stayed frozen at, I think it was like $25. And as soon as he's back, then price starts to fluctuate again based on his performance.
good, very good. That makes it a little bit easier to understand, I think. Now, in that same sense, because there are, do I have to announce essentially when I want to close my position in here, or can I basically hold it if I see this guy in the same hypothetical situation coming back from injury, but I think he's going to have a killer season for the rest of the rest of the season. So can I hold this same one throughout the duration? Do I have to do anything else? Is there any other steps, or do I just need to hold it?
Yep, that's another good question. It's exactly like an exchange. If you trade Bitcoin on Binance, you can decide whenever you want to go in, go out, keep it, close it, open it again. And it's exactly the same idea. We're a proper exchange. The only difference is you trade football players' performance rather than Bitcoin. But everything else related to trading remains the same. You can keep it for a day, a week, a month, a season, or his whole career. So right now, Haaland is just doing crazy. If you think that this guy is going to have 10 years of outstanding performance, just buy him now. And let's say in 10 years where your investment is going to be.
And that's the other thing here, right? Because it's not like binary betting when you just get a slip and you have to wait for your event to turn up. You can run this, you can run your position through all sorts of different scenarios. And actually you can add risk management to your position. So a stop loss or take profit, or you can have contingent orders or limit buys and sells. So it's definitely merged. There's a huge merge going on here with how you normally stake in gambling, but obviously the mechanism by which you do it is actually a fully tradable asset. So that's what we think. That's the innovation here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm hoping, I'm doing my best, guys, to really put this together, because it's a really, really cool idea. I personally, I know you said it exists out there in terms of this style of trading in the real world. I've never even heard of it before. I've never seen it, and I'm a big sports fan. So this is like a brand new asset class, like you were describing to me. I've just never even heard anything like it. So it's really intriguing. And as we were talking about the data side of things, how this stuff is moved in real time and how points are assigned, there's actually like a system that you guys have as basically an asset of the project, right? Adrix, am I saying that right? Adrix data?
Yeah, right. Adrix is the IP. So what happened is, so we're AllStars Digital, and so we run the exchange, right? So we've got all the apparatus and the operational capability to run the sports exchange with added cryptocurrencies as well. But behind the scenes, there's another kind of entity, and it's called Adrix. And Adrix is the intellectual property or the data collector. Something like, if you were in the financial services, it would be the thing that's the Reuters or the Morning Star or the Bloomberg, collecting the data and distributing it to the transacting party. And that's the relationship we've created. So before we could create AllStars Digital, we had to create Adrix as a data processing engine. And if you strip it all the way back, all it's doing is taking real-time events, applying some algorithmic computation around them, which is very formulaic, by the way. So we don't mess around with that formula. Once it's cast in stone, it's cast in stone. But we set the rules up for soccer. We've set the rules up for cricket, and actually, it's just a rules engine that applies all the underlying events and produces a single index that goes up and down. And so the other thing on the other side of Adrix could be other things. It could actually just be human performance in general around, I don't know, around like the performance of a CEO or something like that, which is actually how the whole idea first came together in the first place. But actually the really big application of it is around sports. This is why we're here, moving forward with this plan. So hopefully that gives you an insight into Adrix and why we cite it in our paper.
To me, it was a big value, right? Even though how you described it was very simple, obviously having this complete ready to rock. I mean, this is a big in terms of showing what you guys are bringing to the table value-wise. I just wanted to make sure we spotlight that a little bit, but please feel free to continue to take us on, guys.
Yeah, I don't even know what's next on this slide deck, so I'm going to press forward. Right, okay. So because we're here today, and like we've been doing some work in the background, we've had it in our plans to do an NFT series to go with our launch, but we didn't really want it just to be some sort of an empty stunt. We really wanted it to be connected with our product, and we wanted to bring something to life. And we've been lucky enough to have some really creative people on our team. And over the course of time, they've really had some good fun with this. What we're about to do, I can't tell you the dates because, we don't want to jinx anything. But very shortly, we will release our first series of NFTs, which are related to AllStars Digital and how it works. Now, if you can imagine this, AllStars Digital's got 4,500 footballers, right? And 700 cricketers. But let's go back to the football for a minute. Each one of those footballers plays in a different position: a forward, a midfielder, a defender, a goalkeeper, and the people on the sides that can actually adapt to other positions. If we were to take 5 of them, 5 famous footballers, some of the footballers that are household brands, and put them together in a virtual squad, which is fantasy, by the way, but we can do it for you. We can put them together in a virtual squad and assign each one a percentage. So that actually what really happens is we've created another index out of 5 indices. And so we're calling that V squads. Now, if we didn't take that a bit further, you can make 11 V squads, and 3 of them are strong in being a forward, and 3 of them are strong at being a midfielder, and 4 of them are strong at being a defender. And then actually you create all of those V squads together, create a team in its own right. And you give every one of those team a name and then have some fun. And that's exactly what we've done, right? So, and then on top of that, you can add utility to these NFTs. So this is how it looks. We've worked with a company called Kavuru Games, and they're credited to have done a lot of work for Fortnite and Lucasfilm. And they are a really great design house. And we've been working with them for about a couple of months. And we gave them the brief of coming up with these characters for our special series of this virtual game. And what I can show you is this is how it works. So we've given some of these characters names like the Beast, because it represents the kind of footballers that have gone into that DNA pool, and the Showman because exactly the same. Right? We've got Paul Pogba, for instance, in that index, and the Assassin. We've got like cold and calm and calculated players like Ronaldo, for instance, who'd be like an anchor in that team. And then around that, you can create the characters, which are the Beast, Showman, and the Assassin. For example, here, and underlying that is the index is working away, and there's the central index of the Showman, and that creates fantasy. So you buy 1 card, and you've got an entry into this fantasy competition, which actually pays prizes because that is a fund, and if you all invest in the fund, well, the profit of it gets redistributed to all the NFT holders. So we're running that from November, and this runs for a whole season. Now, while we're doing that, cricket's going to come to the forefront in about Q1 next year when the IPL plays in India. So we can do this for a cricket kind of virtual team as well. And then we can carry on and then give ultimately control to the DAO for them to choose the composites and for them to choose the characters and all sorts of things. And so we'd love to have this ecosystem running around us, but it can only be, this is only possible if you did the work in the first place to have the indices working. And that's how we intend to connect our NFT launch with our product.
Again, super impressive. I didn't even have a lot of details about the NFT, so I'm glued into what you're saying. I'm learning for the first time. This is a really neat aspect of it. So you're saying that it's going to be the opportunity to get one, to mint one, is going to be coming up soon. I know you're not giving us any specifics.
We're going to be really short on the run. We're only doing 5,000 of these, right? 500 of each. And there'll be gold, platinum, and silver, and so there'll be some rarity in them as well. So that rarity also has special aspects on our platform. So we'll give you more details about that later. We're going to start putting a collective marketing pack together for this. But yeah, and like having used Fortnite developers, what our plans are in the future is to bring these people to life, and so plug them in on our platform. So there's a lot of fun to be had there. And it's the first time we've shared this in any detail with anyone. So, you got it first, Gollum.
I mean, as a sports fan, as a really big sports fan, somebody that watches it, pretty much every single day, I definitely can envision what you guys are doing here, and it's just very, very new to me, and there's a lot of opportunity in my eyes. So I'm excited for you. Just to kind of like clarify, though, one lingering thing in my head is, if I do mint one, and let's say hypothetically it is the Beast one, included in this index is going to be randomized people, right? It's not going to be a set like if I buy a Beast one, will somebody else be able to buy a Beast one with the same exact lineup?
No. So look, we have to. We've let our imagination run wild, and we've come up with all sorts of combinations of things. But we're just going to keep it simple for now, right? So the Beast is one team, and it always stays as the team listed here. And the percentages are always set at the beginning of the season, but they can be adjusted, and we'll work out a voting mechanism for adjusting the percentages. So that's going to be the fun that all the Beast NFT holders have to get together and work out what they want to do.
Love it. I love it. I'm not going to slow you down anymore. I'll chime in after each one if I have anything for you. This is super cool, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you like it because people do want us to trade the underlyings, right? So because that's what they're there for. They really love the underlyings, but it's about putting them together and seeing what crazy stuff comes out of that. Anyway, so I think this is where we start talking about the utility around our central coin. But before we get into this, and it's going to be another video with no sound, so it's going to have limited impact here. So I do urge you to get on this once we put it onto YouTube. I probably might skip over it now, but this kind of explains how our coin works in this ecosystem. Certainly, you've just seen about the NFTs there. There will definitely be payouts in AllStars Coin or AllStars X on those NFTs when the fund realization happens. But then we've got all sorts of other utility and loyalty schemes around our main platform as well. I think I've got a slide on it.
Could it be that General just plays this one for us, Akash? Is that?
Yeah, of course. Is this going to be the product soon file, right, guys?
No, it's
I can play it. While I'm talking, I can get it playing, right? So you can see it. But it's the same character, right? So this character's part of our brand now.
Should we try Akash maybe for the General to run it on his computer and see if it works?
Yeah,
with the sound.
Yeah.
I can definitely do that for you guys. Here, let me share my screen. I'll get this going. Give me 1 second. Hey, Akash, could you? I know it's kind of a pain. Could you stop sharing your screen for just a second so it gives me one more time? Here, let me see if I can get this for you guys. Movies and TV. All right, we ready? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Despite what some people might say, sport isn't just about winning. It's about being part of something bigger than yourself. A movement. Which is why AllStars Digital, the world's first sports performance trading exchange, is part of a bigger ecosystem. Fantasy gaming, NFT collections, a metaverse sports exchange, and DApp games. A world of opportunities to watch, trade, and earn. And it's all enabled by a single currency, the AllStars Coin, one that offers more than average utility. With AllStars Coin, you can get VIP discounts on trading commissions, as well as the ability to stake and earn. In AllStars Play, it can get you free access into AllStars fantasy sports contests and entry into exclusive Mega Coin contests. As the transactions and revenue increase, AllStar Digital will buy back AllStar Coin from the market to support and grow its value. And by holding AllStars Coin, you can also earn from special series NFTs and be a voice in the DAO, voting for NFT icon development as well as DeFi player listings. Going into Web3 and the metaverse, the sporting possibilities for AllStars Coin are endless. And they can all be right there now in your wallet. So, do you feel like being part of something bigger? AllStars Coin is launching soon. Find out more and get early access at allstarsdigital.io or follow us on social.
Yeah, that was worth waiting for, wasn't it?
Well, that's the first time we've ever shown that.
It was definitely worth doing. Great quality in that. I was going to give you some kudos. I'm glad we got a chance to actually get that out there. So good quality in the materials ahead of time.
Thank you.
Excellent. And so, did you want to take the conversation in any direction now, General? Because I think there's a couple of slides left.
Okay, yeah, feel free to throw the slides up. Let's get to them. I see community questions coming in, so I'm going to toss those over to you guys afterwards. But yeah, let's keep unpacking if you guys have anything left.
Yeah. Well, I think I could just finish off on the utility right now, right? Because that's hanging now there. So let's just finish that one off. So where did we get to? So this is utility, right? So we really want to build community. We really want people to be engaged and into the product, and we want to reward them for doing that. So we spent a long time actually working out how that would work really, really well. So we have a loyalty scheme, but you have to qualify for it. And if in doing so one way you can qualify for it with it immediately is when the NFTs are minted, you could get one of particular rarity, and that gets you straight into one of the loyalty pockets. So there's an easy access point. But actually, if you want to earn your way there, it's all about like getting on the platform and actually having some success out of your trading or the growth of your holding in AllStars Coin. And doing that, we will reward you as you go up the tiers for however much you're holding and how long you've been holding it for. We will we are going to buy back from the market in small programs. So we're going to start off modest, and we're going to start getting as big as we can. As the transaction volume starts to increase on our exchange, we will have bigger and bigger ambitions to buy more and more back. And as we do so, that'll get locked in the staking pool. That staking pool will get distributed to our loyal fans and community. That's what we will do. And so there'll be a lot more on that as we can start revealing the actual numbers involved. But we have to launch first before we know what the first buyback is going to look like. But everything will be made as 100% transparent as we go into this program. But every entry level, as you go through them and get promoted through them, unlocks something in our platform. It either unlocks access to the NFT or voting pool to those NFTs, or you get early access to new players that get listed. Can you imagine after the World Cup, there's going to be at least a half a dozen new prodigies that turn up that everyone wants to trade, and they get signed to a European club, and now they can be available on our platform. Well, people will want to trade those early, get in first. And we will have schemes where you can get access early on an IPO, and even actually be the ones to put your orders in first for those new instruments. And so we'll create, we'll make sure that we create a platform for that sort of excitement as well. And then there's going to be things that we need to vote on, because there's a community we've got to work things out on how the ecosystem works. And so therefore there will be an ability to kind of grow your vote stake as well as you go along. And so we've got a program for that as well. So all of this stuff will be going out in our second phase of launch. So, right now we just want to focus on the actual fundamentals to get our coin up and running and the ecosystem up and running. And then we will focus on developing and deploying this level of utility. But on that, I'm happy to hand it back to you, General, and see where you want to take the floor.
And no, I think talking about the opportunities here is a great segue to go into, I guess, some of the fundraising that you guys are doing ahead of time. And usually what I like to figure out too, prior to that is, what's been done before? Has this been all funded out of pocket? What's the financial situation like?
You got that, Yusuf?
Yeah. So that's a good question, actually. So what we've done is 2 years ago, we have raised $4.5 million using our Topco UK entity. So we've raised in the seed round equity 4.5 million. So with those 4.5 million, we've been building the product for the past 2 years. Okay, and recently to launch the digital exchange, we went and raised 2.4 million in tokens, with another 0.4 million committed but not funded yet. So 2.8 in total and 2.4 actually in the coffers. And with this, basically, we are going all in for our digital exchange. So we had the chance to basically be able to get funding to run this product. And like most of the projects out there where basically people have an idea, They raise funds using token, and then they try to achieve it. We've been working for the past 2 years before coming and launching our digital exchange, and that's actually given us the chance to or the opportunity to be very careful in terms of tokenomics. So actually, one good thing I think for the community to know is on TGE there will be no investors tokens unlocked. Okay, all the investors have like 1 year cliff, meaning that for the next year it's only basically it's only liquidity tokens, and people willing to trade on one token will be able to do that, which is very rare, right? Usually people like VC, seed round, private round, public round, they all have a large portion unlocked at TGE, and we don't, and then that's basically how healthy our project is. So what we've done for the past 2 years, as I said, with those 4.5, and we haven't raised 45, right? We raised 4.5. So we also had to be very careful and diligent on how we spend the money. We build the product, make sure that our tech, our data, everything works fine. And then what we did for the past 6 months, we've run our MVP in West Africa. So we have an office in Lagos, Nigeria, where we've been running this product on a traditional, not on crypto, but using traditional. It's called AllStars Trader for 2 reasons. First one, we wanted to check that our product was working fine. And the second one is that the community feedback was good. And it was a success. People loved it. Product is relatable. I mean, like as a football fan myself, I know more about Messi, Lewandowski performance than equity, and I've been a trader for 15 years. So, and that's the case for everyone, right? Everyone has an opinion about football, and actually can go even crazy about it. So yeah, people love it. People made good money out of it. So people are coming back to it, and we are ready now to go mass market. And the best way to go mass market nowadays is just to go through crypto and an exchange.
That experiment was just really, really important for us, because you can sit there all day and you think, there's a clever product here, but it's only when it gets into the hands of people who want to use it that you really get the good feedback about what works and what doesn't work. And we've had lots of tuning opportunities to get the pricing fluid, to get the mechanics of the win ratio right. So, the right amount of trades win and the right amount of trades actually, allow the operator to stay in business. So this is the right balance. And more than that, they are that community that we put this into. They're high adopters of innovation and apps on their mobile. They're very crypto savvy, so they were deploying crypto to trade from a very early stage, and they're absolutely fanatic about football and sport. So there's a lot of energy that came from that experiment. And we'd love, the journey hasn't finished with them. As we move away from the traditional Web 2 type product to the Web 3, we'd be more than welcome to welcome them over as well. So they'll have their opportunity to join the new community and learn more about crypto.
Very impressive. I mean, in terms of a timeline, guys, if people are interested, if they want to get involved, when do the opportunities open up to invest? How are you guys rolling that out? And then I guess ultimately the launch. It looks like you guys are going a pretty unique way on that side. I'll give you the floor if you want to talk to us about launch day procedures, fundraising, in terms of opportunities for everybody listening in, that front.
Well, I think, as Yusuf said, we're getting into launch mode, so our tokenomics have adjusted basically to be strong for the. So there's what we learned along the way is like there's a lot of perspectives in the room, and mostly they're about making sure that person who's willing to buy some tokens gets a great deal out of it. And actually, what we've really realised is we have to do what's best for the project, the sustainability of the coin, and the stability of our sort of like 4 or 5 year roadmap. And that's where we've settled. So that's what the tokenomics say now. Having said that, we do appreciate early help and interest by sharing some tokens now. for the right people, for, even at the private level, we know that that would actually bring us some sort of foot soldiers and interest into the project and people that can help us along. So we are willing to do some small pockets of issuance, but mostly we're really good around the TGE. So how I can do that, or we can do that, I haven't spoken to Yusuf, he's going to tell me off for this, right? So I'm going to say it anyway. What we can do is do a limited supply on some tokens for this Gollum lounge. We've got a private round website, and I can give you a code. Then if you put that code in, we know where you're from, and we know what sort of discount we may have promised you. So I can't tell you about the discount right now because I've got to discuss that with my colleague Yusuf, but I can certainly give you the code. So if you went along to our private round URL and you filled out the details that we need there from you, and you put in Gollum 10, that we would get back to you and start, and offer you some early access.
Massive, man.
We'll put the details down in the Telegram soon on that.
Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead. I just ran right over you. I apologize.
No, sorry, General. What we'll do is we'll write that down in the channel, right, so that you know what I just said on that. So if anyone wants to kind of investigate what that looks like, they can come along.
Very good stuff. And thank you. Great opportunity for the community, especially if this fits their criteria for investment. And I guess going back to it, backpedaling just a little bit, it looks like I'm probably going to hog up the whole time. I'm going to try to get some questions out to you. But when we backtrack a little bit to the token itself, the native token, its use is going to be on the exchange, right? Well, will it be the sole currency that people are able to use, or what other currencies are people going to be able to leverage here?
Well, the ambition is to use quite a few currencies. So we've done the design so that, we've got Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin. So the popular ones will be definitely ones we want to support. But we had to be a little bit pragmatic and then say, actually, when we go live, we're going to be able to just be successful if we focus. So USDC and AllStars Coin will be the transacting currencies on our platform when we go live. But we're going to soon be rushing in the others.
Stuff. Only thing I had to that side, does using your native token, and I know nothing about the legalities, right? So this is straight from a shoot from the hip question. Does it put you at any risk of being categorized as like a gambling token if you're using your native?
Well, we're not gambling, so there's nothing binary about what we're doing. So we're not saying that I'll open a book for you, and if you write, I'll pay you this much. There's nothing fixed odds about what we're doing. What we're saying is that there's an open market here for a futures platform, which is no different to you staking something on the Dow Jones index. It's an index that moves, and you go in and you come out. And we're doing the same with a formulaic approach on indexing sports cars.
And yeah, if I may add, we are much closer to the Nasdaq or the S&P than we are to the betting industry in terms of logic that we are applying. If I may add regarding the token, as Akash said at the beginning, just for some technicality, we are just going to be using USDC and ASX, but the plan is to allow everybody to be able to trade with any token. You want to bring BTC, ETH, USDT, even fiat money, you can do that. But what we do is behind the scene, with whatever money you come with and you want to trade, we are going to take that, take your money and convert it into ASX to allow you to trade behind the scenes. So for the user, doesn't say it, but behind the scene, we take BTC. If you bring BTC, we convert it into ASX, and then we provide you Messi, Lewandowski's performance, or whatever you want to be buying. So the idea behind this is we also need to think about how we can sustain our token and make it beneficial for the token holders. So by doing that, what we're doing is we are providing a buying pressure on the token, because every time someone comes and trade on the platform, we convert it into ASX. So we buy ASX using that deposit. So there is a continuous buying pressure linked to the volume. But then when people want to cash out, we give them two options. Okay, either you cash out in ASX and we stake it at an interesting rate, or for some people who don't want to stake it and they want to get their BTC back or USDT, then we give them the USDT or BTC back, meaning that we have to convert back those ASX into BTC. But we are a business and we are here to make money. So what you need to know is that there are less people. I mean, the odds are in the favor of the exchange, right? Like in any in industry, meaning that there will be always less money coming out than money coming in, meaning that there will be a smaller selling pressure on the ASX token compared to the buying pressure on the ASX token. So with this mechanics, basically what we have managed to do is to have a consistent buying pressure that is related directly to the volume traded on our exchange. So in a way, when the exchange makes money, part of it all directly goes back to the token price and benefit to the token holders. And that's pretty unique out there in terms of mechanism.
It definitely is. I noticed that you guys had a very large team. Are you guys, I guess, from you've touched on the revenue model, and I'm assuming a piece of that is going to support the operations and whatnot. But in terms of paying out your core team, keeping people incentivized, your advisors, everything, is it going to be mostly in token supply?
Well, the business model in itself will be revenue generating. So it's not. We're expecting to be like a healthy, sustaining business because transaction volume will generate revenue, basically. Okay, so and that's linked to how many people we need. So the more transactions we end up having, we'll obviously need to support that with the right number of operational staff, etc. So technology support, and so that will start sustaining itself as a model. But the core team is the core team. There's there isn't really a lot of us. Everyone's super busy and doing 10 jobs in the company. So we're not inefficient. It's a very lean body of a company. And so what you might see from the numbers is like the stuff that really seeps around the outside in terms of the salespeople in operation, in Nigeria, and all of that. But when we do the digital model, it's actually a digital product. It's a digital platform. So yeah, it's just technology is the core of the whole thing.
Very good. I'm glad you elaborated, explained that a little bit more. I got a ton of questions to get through, guys, and I'm going to do my best to get as many as I can as long as I have you. But was there anything that you guys wanted to touch on? I'm going through my notes. I think I've hit just about every note that I have here. Is there anything else that you guys want to just touch over before I throw some beauty at you?
Well, if you're going to wrap up on the community, I just wanted to just quickly get something in then, right? So we just want you to know that we are going, right? So they've kindly put these things together. This is our project mascot for launch, right? So you follow us on socials, you'll see, that where our flight plan is, right? We're going. It's a difficult market. I mean, everyone knows that, things are subdued in the crypto world, but our product is linked elsewhere. So it's not just, and so we put good structure around our tokenomics. So we know that we'll be able to support it. But elsewhere, the people who are going to come to the FIFA World Cup final, and it will be a large proportion of people, 570 million people watched the last World Cup final, so they know about it. So there'll be lots of enthusiasm. That is an opportunity just not to be missed by this platform and our product. So we've been working up to this point. So we are locked and loaded, and we're launching. We just want to let you know that. If we can see you along the way, it'd be good to see you guys and make friends with you. On the 28th, we're around between the 26th and 28th. We are launching the coin, and we'll tell you all about the exchange that's going out on very shortly. And then keep following, because 2 or 3 weeks later, the exchange goes live, and we start taking clients to start pitching or putting in their stakes for the World Cup and actually enjoying the experience that comes from that.
Did it just roll out and happen to come right before the World Cup, or was that design?
Well, we knew we couldn't miss it. So, everything's gone up to this is the crunch point.
I gotta imagine the realization that's coming.
And I'm too tempted. I'm going to do this, right? We are just launching our big campaign, right? To just tell everyone about ourselves. So the noise is going to start to rumble soon. So we've got tickets to the World Cup final, and we're giving them away. So, and that's here to spread the love and let people know about our product. So that campaign rolls very shortly.
Win it. Can you give us any details whatsoever? How can people get involved? Just give us like a high level overview of what they're going to have to do to be eligible.
Well, we need you to follow us and we need to sign up. So we've got an early sign up program to our platform, a bit like an allow list, and we'll get you on there. And then as soon as news breaks, we'll let you know, and we'll get you rolling back, and we'll give you access.
So, very good stuff. I want to make sure we got it easy. Now, I did have a question coming through, which I figured I saw it a couple times actually. Are these players, is their image and the brands and the teams that they work for, is that going to cause any sort of legal hiccups when utilizing those? Or in a decentralized way, are you guys not liable?
It's not about liable. I think it's about responsibility. So what we do is we're very, very respectful of the lines. Now, what we do is we've got a data product. So our index is telling us that somebody's performing or they're not performing. So we use that index as our own scheme, our measurement of performance. So when you say that Lewandowski's price is $46.23, that's almost an indicator of how well he's performed over time and his value. That's the same as saying that he did 9 out of 10 performance in a news article. So for us, it's an editorial piece on his performance, and that's how we stay true to that point. So we can use his picture to say this is how well he's doing. If you use this picture to say he's aligned to our brand and he's a brand ambassador, well, then that's not right, because actually that's an image infringement. So we do not do that. We don't need to. Our product kind of stands off in its own way. So we've kind of understood, like, you know, the differences between image rights, copyright, and licensing for images. And we use all of those things in the right way. We certainly don't rip off any brands. So the club brands are, you know, very valuable in their own right, like the English Premier League, etc. So we don't do it. We just don't. We don't need to be in trouble with anyone. So we're, you know, got very good professional, group of people. Like Dave knows a lot about this stuff, and so we kind of like, you know, we police ourselves on it.
I'm going to get like a question or two more, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, I think there are lots of questions from the community as well. So please.
Yeah, tons of questions coming in, guys. I know we're not going to have time for all these hands up, all the questions in my inbox. Please make sure you're jumping in their Telegram group, in their communities, and get the answers to them. But Mr. Luke came in with one. Let's see here. He comes in with, considering the fact that this way of trading is very similar as trading on the stock market, where you can long and short a company. In this case, I was wondering if you can, if you thought of adding options trading, and also a second question: what is the min-max leverage offered?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, it's very similar to any stock exchange. So you can go long, you can go short. By default, we offer a 1 to 100 leverage. So this is how our product is set up. Okay, so you can, you know, you bring $10, then you have like $1,000 buying power to either buy or sell, and the leverage is fixed. Okay, so it's like 1 to 100. And what was the other question? Sorry, the general. There were a couple of questions within the question. So I'll answer the one about the leverage, about the long short.
Yeah, I think that
options,
was
options.
Correct. Yeah. We have plans for option. I mean, we have tons of plans, to be honest, because this is pretty much a new asset class, as you mentioned. So we can have any derivatives that we can think of. You know, we can have binary, we can have call options, put options. It's just that at the moment, we feel that we need people and community to get used to the asset class at first. And the easiest way to do it is just through spot trading. You know, you buy, you sell. And later on, we have a lot of things in mind. Options, we also have like games, you know, you can decide, you know, like Ronaldo usually goes at 5%. If he goes more than 5%, then you win. You know, lots of things in mind, but that probably will be for like next year.
Very good, guys. I'm looking through. I'm scouring my inbox right now, seeing if there's anything that we didn't really talk about. Now, I know we talked about injuries a little bit, in kind of players falling off, not being active. The price doesn't really move in that case, which is good. Now, in that case, can people, I guess, exit their position? If it's a season-ending injury, can they exit for whatever the last price settled at?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you exit and yeah, you exit at the last price. There will still be a market because we will be the main liquidity provider to start with. But once the community and the users grow, then as a market maker, we'll just leave it for the group and the people, the traders, to do the pricing for those indices in terms of market making. But yeah, I mean, if a player is injured, then you'll be able to close it at the last price. If a player gets transferred to a league that we don't cover, so actually what we do there is we force the position to be closed at the last trading price. Okay, because there is no need for you to keep a position open on a player that we know is not covered anymore. So rather than keeping your position there for a year, 2, 3 before you get, you acknowledge it, we just close the position on the last trading price. But I mean, I invite everyone, to be there in a month's time when we're going to launch the exchange. In Nigeria, it has been a huge success. I mean, we have a huge community. We have 14,000 users. We have daily. I mean, we've traded more than 700 million in terms of volume for the past 6 months. I mean, we have a Telegram chat with the Nigerian community. Every weekend, just go nuts, crazy. People just talk every day, every minute about what they want to buy. I'm going to buy this one, and then people know this one is a shitty player, buy the other one. It's sports, and you know how people just go crazy about sports. And that's exactly what this product is about.
It definitely appeals. Any sports fan would look at this probably and be excited by the potential of it. Rachel, I got you unmuted. I think we got time. We're going to end it there. Rachel, if you want to throw your question out there, feel free.
Yeah. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi there.
Yeah. Hi. Okay. Thank you. Let me quickly run through my question. Okay. So the services that you guys are offering, and because it's actually under crypto, and you guys are bringing a brand to Nigeria, and saying that there are laws that varies from places to places, which can actually affect the effectiveness of this project. How will you and the team navigate through these places and region? Talking about Nigeria as a whole, because in Nigeria they don't allow the fiat into crypto directly. So how do you want to navigate this and make it a success?
Well, sorry, what's your name again? Sorry, was it Janet? Can I get that right?
I'm from
Rachel,
Nigeria.
sorry. Well, actually, if you don't want an on-ramp and off-ramp, we will give you the option to trade in fiat. So if it's not allowed in your country, I would urge you not to try and break your local laws and stick to those policies. And actually, when we learn a few things, and if we need to help people along with their local compliance, we will probably put restrictions in place. Because we don't really, it's not in our business to try and get in trouble with anyone either. So I guess that's how we would navigate that. But it's a little bit more of understanding each one of the local kind of parameters that we're dealing with.
That's good. That's a great answer. And finally, finally, do you look forward to having ambassadors and validators from Nigerians? I mean, from Nigeria to represent your branch in Nigeria.
That's very good. Well, we've already got a branch in Nigeria, so you may want to help them. We can put you in touch with Davis Balabo, who's our general manager there. But ambassadors, validators, community leaders, we need them all. So come along. Join the Telegram group. That's the way to start. Join the Telegram group. Tell everyone who you are. I'm sure you'll be famous very shortly.
All right. Thank you.
Very much, Rachel. Appreciate you hopping on. Guys, I really appreciate all the time, especially with staying over a little bit with us. For anybody listening in, AllStarsDigital.io. I'm sure you've been as impressed as I have. But, guys, if you wanted to close this out for the day, please feel free. I'm going to toss the mic back over to you guys. Feel free to give us some closing words.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Akash, Yusuf, Dave, thank you guys so much. One more time, guys, AllStarDigital.io. Really, really impressive stuff here. I appreciate you guys taking the time. If you've been listening in, that does it for today's show, everyone. I am so glad that we got a chance to chat with the team. As personally, I'm even more impressed than I was when we started. Value up front from all angles in both their platform and app, the security, the team, a lot of things to like about this project. And it's certainly innovative, but more importantly, a product that is seemingly very viable in the market. And I'm excited to watch it, especially at such an early stage. But don't take my word for it. Do your own due diligence, hop in their community, review what they built, and make a good investment decision based on your own criteria. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.